Hello and welcome. My presentation is on the origins of unsustainable luxury by Beverly Grinstaff. Grinstaff's reading addresses the concept of luxury and the broader social and cultural reverberations associated with this phenomenon. Luxury instilled within material possessions and surroundings is described as having a plethora of effects, not only on the economy and society, but also the gratification bestowed on one's sense of self. Before the European Industrial Revolution, in the early 18th century, only skilled artisans and craftsmen were deemed capable of creating works of true extravagance. Naturally, consumption of these goods was confined to the upper echelons of society, within proto-industrial France and Britain. However, as these countries evolved, splendor was not seen such as a scarcity, and it manifested itself in other, more encapsulating forms. As the Industrial Revolution unfolded, dramatic changes occurred within the spheres of consumption, production, and social conduct. This is believed to be the spark igniting the phase known as unsustainable luxury. These effects can be observed in the American West. For instance, popular media was a newfound and growing field, demanding new roles of genius once reserved for very skilled and elusive artisans during the Renaissance. Quartz outlines two integral ideologies which embody social and humanizing impacts of luxury. Quartz identifies that this grandeur boosts the economic vigor of a nation. He states, luxury consumption spurs the economy by keeping legions of artisans gainfully employed. It strengthened the state by expanding the base of wealth upon which the state finances rested, and it redistributed wealth from the rich to poor by inducing elites to spend money that might otherwise have been hoarded. However, he does acknowledge the philosophical ideal, reminding one that consumption of luxury goods, although fueled by sinful desires and selfish fantasies, had unintended positive consequences for society as a whole. Quartz identifies another benefit of luxury, believing that before Philip Augustus in France, the French remained without industry in disorder and ignorance. It can be inferred that without traces of luxury, no innovation and creative revelations were made. Quartz even goes a step further, effectively explaining that if a society is untinged with ideals of luxury, it will crumble, and I quote, that those living there were slaves in their own country. And we can see that Philip Augustus ruled France from 1180 to 1223, and he made the crown more powerful than any feudal lord. So he had a really massive impact on the luxury at the time. Eighteenth century philosophical concepts and French thought were ingrained in Denis Diderot's Encyclopédie, which was from 1751 to 1756, which was written. It was described as being a catalogue of enlightenment, containing philosophy concerned with the nature of man, as well as crucial morals and politics. In this book, luxury is thought to operate as an agent and indicator of progress, and is quoted to contribute to the greatness and strength of states, which must be encouraged, enlightened, and directed. It is quoted, the work of a true artist imparts an inner, eternally lasting value, whereas the form given to the costly metal by a mechanical craftsman always has, even in the best work, something insignificant and indifferent in it that can only please as long as it is new. So mechanization of luxury and mass production is critiqued here, as it cannot possibly instill this ethereal aura and create lasting value. Mechanized splendor can only account for a transient worth under the guise of true luxury. Grinstaff establishes luxury as a profound agent of pragmatism. However, he also acknowledges that it is composed of a number of complexities, which may diminish its intrinsic worth as a whole. There is no such thing as pure and universally embraced luxury as a collective. Possessing inherent luxury is entirely subjective, and this premise can be revealed to rely on the construct of a particular region it is affecting. The impression of luxury also depends on the historical timeline that it is affiliated with. So this can be elucidated and is especially true in a comparison between Paris during the 1800s and a more rural, desolate farming area in France in the early 1900s. In Paris, ideals of luxury evoked the desire for one to be viewed by society in a better light. Houses were being built that promised a multitude of rooms, many of which could be considered useless, such as the garde-robe and the garde-robe à l'anglaise. These were separate rooms, one designed entirely for grooming and the other for primping, which is making minor adjustments to one's appearance after grooming in the room. Such superfluous and redundant measures can give one a sense of the utterly ridiculous ideals of luxury at the time. Such ideals of luxury at this time can be thought of as unsustainable and immoral, as it is restricted to only the affluent and cannot be practiced among broader society. The resources are simply too little to sustain such lavishes, and in turn, the culture as a whole does not benefit from such extravagances. This is because such ideals of luxury cannot reverberate among the majority of a culture. Therefore, it is impacted and will become diminished and lose its efficacy. The repercussions of this unsustainable luxury transcended time, and a century later, and a generation on, the former peasants are still low-paid urban workers in the post-revolution era. So the prior image of divine luxury was so unattainable in the 1800s that it failed to promise any social mobility within the lower classes and stripped them of hope. The perception of the type of luxury that should be introduced can be deemed fallible, and subsequently have social and cultural consequences. Interestingly, when the standard of living among a society reduces, new and more productive ideals of luxury are inaugurated. Such is the case following ideals concerning luxury in 1800s Paris, which left a deficit within society due to the unbalanced and unsustainable luxury enjoyed by so few. Fresh values of luxury were molded around the dire circumstances endured by urban workers in the early 1900s, yet it took substantial amounts of time for these areas to become modernized. This delay in modernization in poorer, more remote districts was perpetuated by the unsustainable origins of luxury. Therefore, it is clear that there is a correlation between luxury and economic robustness. So, a fundamental concept around true luxury from Diderot's Encyclopédie states that the greatest advantage of luxury is a more detailed understanding of one's sense of self. From the encyclopedia, it explained, persons, objects that surround us have their influence on us. So the teaspoon embarrasses us as if it was made of gold, but it should be made of silver, because it should be made of silver. Material luxury should be seen as a tool to facilitate self-belief and not be confined to having a singular purpose, such as having silver cutlery instead of gold. It can be interpreted that society's abashment is due to having luxury in material objects as a means of eliminating the tension differential regarding aspirations of upward social mobility. Eliminating such approaches towards luxury is said to allow for a more comfortable and noble nature. So, my chosen artifact was a tennis trophy that I won a few years ago. This trophy has a profound cultural significance as its purpose is to provide a tangible reminder of achievement. It promises its winner significant merit, not to be forgotten. Additionally, in a wider social context, it is generally accepted that it should be presented and awarded in front of others to highlight its winner's achievements to others. In combination, these elements contribute to a sense of gratification. These memorable moments, as well as the trophy's physical opulence and beauty, are integral to instilling an inner and eternally lasting value, such as mentioned in the reading. The trophy is crafted from a metal coated in gold, imbued with many fancy embellishments. These serve to accentuate the overall luxury and beauty of the trophy. It can be difficult to determine whether or not one's interaction with this form of luxury, however, is advantageous or not. On one hand, it is successful in emboldening its winner, gifting them a more prospective future. Furthermore, it contributes to one's sense of self through the unique way it was forged and the memories that it has captured. However, this form of luxury has been restricted to a specific the specific social context which it was created in the same way that a teaspoon made from gold instead of silver would embarrass us, from the encyclopedia. The specificity of the social context surrounding the trophy restricts it from expressing other forms of luxury. The cultural significance of the trophy's luxury can therefore manifest in a series of positive and negative ways. The trophy also carries ideals of the sustainability of its luxury. It holds a balance between being a mechanized form of design with a tinge of personal connection and worth. In this sense, it is sustainable as it has a modest impact on resources in our current economic standing, as well as promoting a longevity. This longevity is critical and it promises more luxury and innovation in the future. The trophy has positive connotations, economic impact, and ideals that render it a sustainable form of luxury. So my questions for you guys was to think about a material item that you have bought and attempt to contemplate the particular cultural boundaries it explores. And then for the second one, it's do you believe that the current future states of luxury as a whole will remain entirely sustainable in this context? And finally, would you offer a different perspective on the social context of the trophy as not being restrictive? Thanks guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. See you next time.